Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're watching
Between Two
Shoes. And Meg, this one is probably one of the toughest Between Two Shoes we've done yet.
This one's gonna be pretty brutal. In fact, I'm not sure I have my answer yet, so we'll run through the similarities and differences, but we're talking about the New Balance SC Trainer V2 and
the Asics Superblast.
So these are probably two of our favorite shoes right now. They fall into that daily trainer neutral category, but sort of that do-it-all shoe.
I almost call them like super daily trainers. Like you have super shoes and then you have shoes that you could run in every day that have some qualities of the race day shoes. And the most important thing about race day shoes is they're fun to run in.
Yeah.
They're not very durable. So when you use one of those for daily training, you're really kind of wasting the shoe. That's where these types of shoes come in. You get the fun of the race day shoe without the problem of it falling apart after 100, 200 miles.
Yeah, so let's start off here talking a little bit about this Asics Superblast. This shoe was actually took a little while for us to sort of love.
And figure out.
Yeah, it was a little bit firmer than I think we were expecting when they were talking about this really like high stack, fun cushion shoe. There's two different foams in the midsole. You have the Flight Foam Turbo, which is what you'll find in the race day shoes, Metaspeed Sky, Metaspeed Edge, and then the Flight Foam Blast Plus, which is the softer foam found in like the Nimbus.
The Turbo is a nylon-based foam, so it's sort of like a P-back, sort of like that really explosive foam that stores energy and brings it back to your foot, while the Flight Foam Blast Plus is more of that softer, cushioned, nice riding feel to the foam.
Yeah, and you get a ton of it. As you can tell, there's 45.5 millimeters of foam in the heel here, 37.5 in the forefoot, so an 8 millimeter drop. It's extremely light for all of that cushion. My women's size 7.5 came in at 7.4 ounces, which is pretty crazy when you think about this much material.
Yeah, my size 10.5 came in at 8.7 ounces, which is like right in there for like a daily trainer.
Yeah.
What it kind of hides is that feeling of this turbo, the way that it kind of gives you that energy return. Now, it doesn't have a plate, but the foam is firm enough to kind of like, you can see I can't really flex this, and trust me, I've been working out, that this doesn't really flex like a typical trainer. So I don't know that it needs a plate in there, but what it does give you is long-lasting comfort. It feels lighter on the feet. This is a great shoe for just about anything, but it really shines at like those long distance runs that you're gonna do where you want something a little bit lighter on your foot and can do the turnover.
Yeah, I think why I kept gravitating towards this shoe is just because it works for so many different types of running. Like I would lace this up for a recovery run. I would lace this up for, I mean, we ran Tokyo Marathon in it. So you can pretty much do anything in this shoe, and I think that's what makes it such a great option. The price point is $200, but you are getting this premium race foam, and also, like we're talking about, you can pretty much do all your runs in it. So it makes sense.
The one complaint I'd have with it is the upper kind of feels like not like it was like really designed for this shoe. It was just like, okay, here's a nice upper that works with the shoe, keeps your foot in. You've got a gusseted tongue, but it's no frills. It's just kind of simple upper.
All right, so let's move on now and talk a little bit about this new SC Trainer V2. The big updates on this one are that it got a brand new upper. So this is completely revamped, which I really liked. The previous iteration was more of that sock-like fit. There were some issues around the ankle. We've talked about it plenty. They lowered the stack. So whereas this shoe used to be more comparable to the Superblast in height, it's now down closer to that 40 millimeters, and they've lowered the drop a little bit. So 40 millimeters, 34 in the forefoot for a 6 millimeter drop.
We were really worried when they lowered the stack because it was such a fun, unique ride.
Yeah.
It was spongy. It was just a really fun shoe to run in. Some people found it a little unstable, and it was really high stack. So when they were lowering the stack, we're like, oh no, it's not gonna have that cush, especially someone like you who loves that deep cush feeling.
The updates also to the foam itself made a big difference. So this fuel cell is brand new material. It is less dense, it's lighter, so the shoes lost almost an ounce from the previous iteration. While there isn't that squishy, sink-in feeling like you got with the last version, you still have a really great ride and a nice bounce to it. And very similar to the Superblast, this is one that I feel like can do just about anything. You have a full carbon plate here, so you can pick up the pace. It's lighter, so you can pick up the pace. It's comfortable, so you can do your easy daily runs in it.
You keep saying lighter. It's not the lightest shoe. It still weighs in, I think mine was like a 10.7 for a 10 and a half. It's not like
10.4.
10.4 for a size 10 and a half. It's not like the lightest shoe, but this is one of those cases where I feel like the foam and the plate work to give you that propulsion and that feeling of quick turnover that kind of makes up for the heavier weight.
Yeah. And
I really do like the way the energy arc here works. It has a really nice ride.
Yeah, and so this one is gonna come in at $180. Again, it's a little bit on the higher side, but you are getting that full carbon fiber plate and a lot of the similarities that you get in a racing shoe, just with a little bit more durability. So you're gonna get tons of miles out of this. You can use it for just about everything. When we're talking about between two shoes here, I think the thing I have to go with is the general ride and pop and bounce.
The enjoyment.
And the enjoyment. And I get a little bit more from the SC Trainer 2 versus the Superblast. So if I had to choose between them, I think I'm going SC Trainer.
This was a tough one, and I kind of agree with you. I'm gonna say it for, I'm gonna give you another question. So just purely running, and you kind of covered that, like the enjoyment factor out of this. Both shoes are really fun to run in. Mm-hmm. If you had to pack one shoe for a trip, you pack in this shoe or the Superblast?
Like, am I walking around in this shoe?
One shoe, you're going to Paris for the week.
If I gotta walk around in the shoe too, this one wins in looks. I mean, look at this beautiful thing. This colorway is amazing.
Okay, so for fashion, okay.
But otherwise, I'm still gonna go with the SC Trainer.
For me, this is I would pack this shoe,
yeah.
And I'd be happy to have this one shoe to do all my running in. You know, I could get some high heels when I'm in Paris for the rest of the stuff walking around.
That wasn't given me as an option.
With this much stack, I'd need a high heel to replace it. Finally, if you had to pick one of these shoes that you had to race in and to run in, that's where it gets a little bit dicey for me. While I like this one for pretty much everything, and I do feel like you could definitely race in this one if you wanted to throw it on as your one shoe to do it all, I still feel like the lightweight of this one would win out for me if I had to go lace it up for the race.
I still think I'd go SC Trainer for a race just because that carbon plate really gives you that propulsion and that bounce, and so when you're picking it up, I feel like it rewards you in the same factor, whereas the Superblast is sort of just that level flat.
Okay, I'll give you that, and maybe you just convinced me. So it looks like we're gonna go with the SC Trainer V2 as our pick between these two shoes. Like I said, this was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong here with any of these shoes, but if we gotta choose.
And then you add in price point, $20 less.
Yep.
And, you know, durability, I think they're about equal on durability. It really is just gonna come down to what you think of the ride. So go try both shoes on, see which one appeals to you more. And if you think we're totally off, then leave your comments. But I can't think of two shoes right now that we wanna just keep lacing up, even though we've reviewed them and put so many miles on them. Yeah, it's hot. They're Hansel. Can you think of anything else you wanna say, Meg?
Nope, that's it.
All right, that's it. We got a winner.